Good morning.
Welcome and thanks for joining us on the program this morning. We'll be looking at a number of issues, be it political in its wake, and it's starting from talks about 2027. The Arewa Consultative Forum seems to have a different opinion from other northern groups on their position towards the presidency. Now, they're stating that they are non-partisan, with many looking at the current security situation in the country as part of the anti-campaign strategies against President Tinubu's re-election. They're citing that sponsors of this insecurity want to make the president look bad. Do you think that this is indeed the true situation of things?
Good morning. The position of the northern region as it regards to 2027 is crucial. Baba Ahmed, one of our very, very esteemed leaders of opinion in the northern region, has come out to make known to us the position of the North. Just as he said, influence politically is crucial. They should also remember that Nigeria is not only domiciled in the North. Just as we have the North, we also have the South. Whether the influence is much from the northern region, well, 2027 will determine who says and who gets what. Like I said the other day, political permutations have already begun, and individuals, group, organizations are coming out to show their interest, their influence, and to also let the political class know who they are and the strength that they can actually, bring out politically. So 2027 is still pregnant. The North have come to say what they want to do, their intention. We also have the Southwest. They have not come out to say anything. What about the Indigbos with their group and the association, Ohanes Indigbo? So political permutations is not based only in the North. Political permutations can come from all the geopolitical zones. And so for now, you don't know what happened until all the political parties have come out with their candidates. So 2027 is still pregnant until the political parties have come out to present their candidates. And that will define who follows who and how.
Now, a lot of analysts have expressed concerns concerning the state of security in the country, citing that ahead of 2027, the current security situation in Nigeria could deter the president's ambitions in the polls. Do you share the same thoughts? Do you think that perhaps the president is becoming unpopular with the populace due to his handling of security matters in the nation?
So far, so good. If you say I should mark the present president, our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you ask me to mark him over 10, I think I will give him 7 over 10. As we consider what happened in the last dispensation of Buhari, we saw what happened. My brother, from here to Kaduna became a den of lion. It is not so as we speak. The kind of momentum, the kind of interest, political interest, and the kind of security interest that he has. Somebody who want to, who want to vie for second tenure will always want to do the best to impress the citizenry. And I think that is one of the things the president is doing. You can understand what I'm saying, that security situation as it used to be under Buhari has improved as we speak now. Yes.
This improvement we're looking at has also seen reprisal attacks, particularly in the Middle Belt, where the death toll has hit 284. Many are calling for a declaration of a state of emergency on insecurity in the Middle Belt. Many are also not scoring the president so high in terms of his handling of the situation in Rivers State, where not as much as 284 lives were lost, but they are accusing him that he prioritized it in terms of power grabbing and the race to 2027. Mr. Segun Ayoola.
Can you say that again? You are breaking, sorry.
My question is on the handling of the security situation in the Middle Belt, particularly Benue and Plateau states, vis-a-vis the handling of River State, where many are accusing the president of not prioritizing the life of citizens in the Middle Belt as against what they are calling a move to power grab ahead of 2027. How do you judge the handling of the situation with the calls for a declaration of a state of insecurity in the Middle Belt?
Yeah, thank you. National interest is key to a developing nation. National interest is very paramount in the developing nations. It has to do with, the welfare of the people, security-wise. You can just oppose them in a fairness, in a equity, and the likes. Now, look at what happened in Port Harcourt. Look at what is happening in Benue. Look at what is happening in Plateau State. All of this would test the president's capability in handling issues as this, which will also determine his impression, will also determine his followership, will also determine whether he is capable or not. Now, in every developing nations, you would know, you will understand that the interest of the people comes first. The interest of the people comes first. There is nothing you can do without security. There is nothing you can do without peace. There is nothing you can do without stability. All of this has affected places just mentioned: Rivers, Benue, Plateau State. And just to mention but few, there are still other places where insecurity looms that are not in the public domain. Now the issue is, how can the president handle this without taking
Hello, Mr. Segun.
political interests of the Mr. President? Now, he has to come out clearly. He has to come out with, justiciable, ideas that will benefit the people. Those people who are responsible for this should be brought to book. Not just bringing them to book. Lots of people have been brought to book, but in the end, through the back doors, you will see them again back in the society. This time, I know Mr. President has the power, and he's ready to use his power, unlike other presidents who will say, I am not aware. I am not aware.
But this sense of urgency using his power, Mr. Segun, has not been replicated in Benue or Plateau, much like we have seen in Rivers. Many are also saying that the president, in a show of empathy, ought to have cut short his trip abroad and returned to the country to empathize with those who have lost their lives. But he's not as urgently paying attention to this issue, whereas we saw the urgency in River State.
Yeah, they are not the same. The issue at hand are not the same. One is insecurity. The other one is more of political agenda. Now, when you talk about what is happening that attracted attention in River State, you look at it, you just oppose it on the basis of political. But here we have insecurity. People are being killed in their cold blood. children have been murdered, husband, breadwinners of the families have been killed. So, and the president needs to study the situation as a leader. I know he is a good listener. I know he is strategizing, and as a leader, before you take up on any action, you need to take into consideration the people who are involved, the situation reports. The NSA is working hard to getting the situation report to advise the president, the NIA, and so on. All the security, outfits, I'm sure their hands are on deck to unravel the causes of this problem, and then to actually give us a lasting solution. But this time around, it's not like you go back and forth. You are going to get it right at this time by the grace of God. And the president needs time.
Now Mr. Segun, still staying with the declaration of the Arewa Consultative Forum about their non-partisanship ahead of the 2027 polls. We recently saw the CPC bloc of the APC coming out to reiterate their support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of the 2027 polls. However, a strong member of the CPC bloc, talking about former SGF Babachir Lawal, distanced himself from the show of solidarity by the CPC to the president, while warning the president to be careful ahead of the general polls in 2027. Now, this is a very strong force and a very strong voice in Nigeria's political scene, especially in the northern part of the country. How do you think this might impact the president's bid for a re-election when the polls come?
Yeah, in politics, politicians will not tell you what they mean, and they will not mean what they tell you. So that has to be understood. What is all these political permutations? People are coming out to make themselves, important to the public domain. It's a permutation. It's a political arrangement. They want to set the order. They want to ensure that they can influence. That is the essence. And Mr. President I'm not holding brief for anybody, but looking at what is happening politically, as a political scientist, student of political science, I understand, and I have been in politics for a very long time. I understand that some people like Almakura and the likes, the Arewa Consultative Forum, the Arewa Youth, and so on, have not even come out yet to make known what they want the direction of the politics to go in the north. Now, political blocs within the APC have always been noticeable, because at some point or the other, they will come out and complain that their own original CPC, for instance, their candidates are not, they are not given political office to take care of. And some of them will come out and say, you only consider ACN, those people who were in ACN. Remember, Mr. President was in ACN. And so the CPC people who actually started CPC in the likes of Almakura and so on, they want to now begin to have influence, because they notice that some of them are not actually inculcated in this government. And that is what they are looking at. They want to make themselves important in the political dispensation of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, going by their way, if Almakura becomes the chairman of the political party, well, and if the former minister, Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, is saying that he's not the choice, I was looking at it from this era, from this angle. Who gave Malami the speakership of the APC? Malami was the Minister of Justice. Was that based on political permutation of the APC during Buhari era, or was it based on the personal relationship with the president at the time? So coming out to now making himself important and in the public domain to start speaking, it gives me concern.
But he's a card bearing member of the APC, a very high ranking member of the of the party as well, and also a high ranking member of Nigeria's political class.
Yes, with all of these status, have you asked yourself, what is the structure politically? How does it come into the party? You can be chairman and not have influence in the political party. You can be secretary of a party and not have a political, structure in the party. But the issue is, you have not come out in any political, election or electoral process. You have never been voted for. You have never participated in any electoral process. You were an appointee. Though you have influence, yes. You may have affluence, yes. But who are your followers? Do you understand? So when you begin to kick against the likes of Al-Makura, people who have contested and won governorship two times, people who are in the Senate, and then you have never, and you are kicking against them. That is one. And then you look at the likes of the former governor of Kano, who is now the PDP, the APC chairman.
Yeah,
he had influence.
But
you see, even his influence was countered in the state where he held as a governor. It was countered by a former governor who was the governor before him. So this influence and political influence is determined by who is your follower. The number of your followers determine your capacity. Your capacity. So this is what every politician must look at. Babachi Lawan is a very good man, a very sincere man. It's unfortunate what happened to him. I believed in him so much. He had influence. He speaks the truth. But whatever happened to him, I don't want to start going back there. He's somebody I love so much, and I believe anytime I see his write-ups, I like to look at it, study it, read it. And it gives me a lot of, impression about people that have interest of this nation.
And Mr. Segun, what would you say about the merger we are seeing? Not necessarily merger, but more like a move made by certain key political figures in northern Nigeria to the Social Democratic Party, SDP, ahead of the polls. We have seen individuals like the former Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai joining the SDP and also canvassing for more recruitment of key figures in the political scene to join the party ahead of the polls. Is there a possibility that this might have some sort of northern undertone in line with what the ACF is saying about not being partisan, but on the back end it appears that they are supporting the SDP to remove the APC in 2027?
You see, Malam Nasir El-Rufai is a good definition of politics. Politics is who gets what, when, and how. Politics is first about individual interests. Second, the political interest which you belong. Thirdly, the interest of the nation. But remember, the first is individual interest. You remember the same El-Rufai was in PDP. He was among the first ministers of PDP under Obasanjo as FCT minister. He was in BP, Bureau for Public Enterprise, before Atiku moved in to FCT and Obasanjo made him FCT minister. There was nothing he didn't say about PDP. But because his interests pushed him out of PDP, he joined another party, lied to people, his followers, to follow him. And he began to call PDP bad names. And his followers joined him. Then after some time, he moved again out of APC. Now only God knows whether he will be in SDP or other political party or come back to APC in 2027. And that is why I said 2027 is still pregnant. Sir, you won't know this until candidates, each political parties are being presented to Nigerians. That is where you know. If somebody, for example, Erufai, is not in any candidature of any political party, and I'm sure that is what he's looking for. If he is not interested in any political party, that is another thing. If he just wants to crash or to crush APC, that's another angle. But I'm telling you, whatever angle he's coming from, 2027 is still very, very pregnant. Whatever permutations they are doing now is just to rearrange who becomes a political card bearer of the political party of each party. Is it APC? Is it SDP? Is it PDP? And the likes. So we are still watching.
Mr. Segun, whilst we're still watching, it's important to also factor in some of the replies the presidency has had to issue in recent weeks. I'll start with the reply given to the rumor that there had been a fallout or breakdown relationship between President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his vice, Kashim Shettima. The presidency had to report that, dispel that report as a rumor, saying that no access was denied the VP. This is coming amid speculations that come 2027, there might be a change of running mates under the APC. What do you make of this reply from the presidency and those speculations?
The president takes is his sole responsibility. The choice of the vice president or running mate of any political party is determined first by the presidential candidate and secondly by his political party. Now the president has influence since becoming the president, since becoming an incumbent. He has the capacity and the capability for the choice of the vice president or running mate. If there is pathway between the president and his vice, I'm not aware. I don't know what resulted into that. And I don't think that is necessary now. But the president has space between now and 2027, unlike during the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, where it became too late for him to remove Atiku after becoming the vice president for second tenure. So if he decides, it is responsibility, and whatever consequences that comes with it, he has to bear the consequence. And whatever decision Shettima has taken that is creating pathways or whatever, if it is on the part of the president or part of the vice, whatever decision the both of them took is their sole responsibility. That will also determine.
Well, we'll move on to another issue in the news shortly, but let's get your final thoughts on this issue with how much of a role the North plays in deciding who emerges president. Dr. Baba Ahmed was making a case for the numbers in terms of voting demographics. As he said, in the next 6 months, Nigerians will know how vital the North is in determining who emerges president. Do you think that those demographics of voters in the North have a large sway on the outcomes of our presidential election?
Yeah. The position, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Segun. Carry on.
Are you there, sir?
Yes, please,
okay.
Carry on.
Now, the position of Baba Ahmed telling Nigerians that 6 months will determine politically what will begin to happen. Baba Ahmed is speaking as an individual. I don't think he's speaking for Arewa Group. That's number one. Yes, 6 months is also a signal to all the political office holders to bear up, to decide now, to begin to, to make their decisions known to their electorates, their followers, Nigerians, the citizens, to actually come out with what they have, their agenda, and then who becomes their running mate, and then who and how. These are the processes that are, taking place now. So he has also come to present his credence, to make his mindset known to the people. And if he's speaking for the Arewa Consultative Forum, well, good. So it's not only Arewa Consultative Forum we have in Nigeria. The numbers we have in the north are largely dominant, yes. But remember, it is not all about the president himself and his constituency. As regards to electoral process, he also going to have a running mate come from the north. You see, one of the problems Wike had with the choice of Article 2023 was that somebody is just leaving office of the president after 8 years from the north. We cannot afford to repeat another man from the north. So when the party took that decision to vote for Atiku, he took his own decision too. I love Wike, and he has not changed, and he will continue to be very, very strong.
Now, what would you make of his statements concerning the structure of the party and the fact that ahead of 2027 he is not willing to work with the PDP unless they change their approach towards certain things when it comes to, party politics? Do you think this is a viable statement coming from a very high-ranking member of the party who is holding a political appointment in an APC-led administration?
Now, get this very clear. Wike is PDP. PDP is Wike. Wike is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If Wike, as a sitting governor in Rivers State, to come out to say, I will support Mr. President,
yes,
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he stood his ground, gave all his support to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. How much more now that he is the FCT minister? I think this is the first time I see this interplay where somebody who is in another political party is given an office in another political party.
A very high-ranking, a very juicy and high-ranking office like that of the FCT
yes.
minister.
He's arguing two flags of APC and that of PDP. That is by the way. Now the issue is, how do you think Wike will come out and speak if he doesn't have idea, or if he doesn't know what is happening? You remember, he's the only man who stood, who never left the party. Every other person we mentioned today had left at one point or the other and returned. Wike stood, sponsored, spent his money, financing, accommodation, and so on of the political party. Same Wike is coming out to say PDP is not prepared for 2027. He is speaking the right thing. He knows what he's saying. He's an insider, don't forget. And let me tell you, the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is entitled to 2 tenures of office. Do you think that Wike will withdraw his support for him? And I'm not thinking that Wike is ready to fight his boss. No. One of the reasons, one thing that Wike came out to say that made him to leave PDP and start supporting APC was the choice of Atiku from the north again. On that permutation, I see him as a nationalist.
Let's talk about another formula that is playing on in the FCT. Many are crediting this defection to the FCT minister. We saw the executive chairman of the Abuja Municipal Council, Honorable Christopher Mekalangu, deflect to the APC, a move that has now been welcomed by even the APC national chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, and even the Senate president has openly commended this move. Do you say that this influence of the FCT minister is strongly also wooing defectors who might be crucial ahead of 2027?
Yeah, it's cross-carpeting. Yes, please, can you come again? You were breaking.
I was asking the question of another major defection in shaping the politics within the FCT. The AMAC chairman has also defected to the APC, a move welcomed by the national chairman and even the Senate president openly ahead of 2027. Many are crediting that defection to some of the workings of the FCT minister looking to woo all the political actors he needs ahead of 2027.
You know, there are so many political characters within the APC. Some of them are bedfellows. Sorry to use that. Even within the political party, they have individual interests, like I said earlier. Somebody who is in the same political party which is not having the same agenda. So, cross-carpeting of the AMAC council chairman, he says he's not welcomed by the APC chairman, Ganduje. Well, that could be because of their ideas who may not, be in tandem with each other. If, for instance, the interest of the AMAC chairman clashes with that of the national chairman, and the national chairman never liked him, it could be that he see him as a threat to elections in FPT. It could see him as a threat for choice of his candidates. Don't forget, he may have a candidate in the next election for AMAC, and this man cross-carpeting to APC may be the candidate of Wike, and he wants to come back again as AMAC chairman. So these are, individual interests that are coming to play, and the individual influence has a lot to contribute to the political interest and direction of the party, and that is what is interplaying right now. The man who is cross-carpeting, whose candidate is he? Is he that of the Senate president? Is he the candidate of the national chairman? Is he the candidate of the FCT minister? All of this will interplay that has come to be what is it in the minds of these three persons you just mentioned. Well, Wike is a very strong and confident, politician. He has never swallowed the spit. I have watched him for almost a decade, and I'm beginning to love him. I know his stand when, PDP tried to deny, the former governor Rotimi, how Rotimi fled to Ghana, how he went to Ghana to bring Rotimi with his influence. He went to the judiciary, fought PDP, and then the judgment came in the interest of Rotimi. He made Rotimi, after the election, he made Rotimi the governor of Rivers State for 8 years.
Now, Mr. Segun, the FCT minister has, in the last media palace, cited lack of genuine commitment to opposition politics by the PDP, and that's one of the reasons why he has been at loggerheads with other members of the party. He has also said concerning the local government council elections to be held in the Federal Capital Territory, very soon, that he would not support the PDP. He outrightly said he would not support the PDP, even as a member of the People's Democratic Party. In your opinion, is this something that might be considered an anti-party play?
Anti-party?
Is this an anti-party action? Is this something that the PDP might consider? Exactly.
I get your point. I understand what you say. When you say anti-party politics, does that have anything to do with Wike? Does that have anything to do with PDP? You know, this anti-party of a thing has become another name of PDP.
This is something that individuals in the party, like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and even the Coalition of United Political Parties, the CUPP, have accused him of, and time again he has refuted these claims as well.
So anti-party has come to stay in politics of PDP. You know, in the past, how many times the same Atiku left the political party?
Correct.
Was that not anti-party? There was no name he did not call PDP whilst he was in another political party campaigning to becoming the president. There was no name he didn't call the PDP, and he came back again to accuse somebody of anti-party, and I'm very sure he's going to lead PDP again, because from the permutation, what Wike is asking the political party to do, if they have been doing it, PDP would have been a very strong party. They were not doing it. They were showcasing somebody from North again. That was one reason Wike never supported the PDP. Because you cannot have somebody from North who spent 8 years at number one, and then bringing another person again from the North to be number one. I mean, as Nigerians, we need to learn credence from what Wike has come out to juxtapose.
So carry on.
Now, talking about this credence he has set, you mentioned earlier being a PDP governor and outrightly campaigning for an APC candidate in the presidential election. We're seeing that presence being followed by the current governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Moeno, who openly endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of 2027, saying that the state would stand for the APC at the presidency. This is coming in the wake of 3 other PDP governors being rumored to defect to the APC alongside Pastor Moeno. What do you make of this antecedent set by the ICT minister and the president's been followed by Governor Eno?
You remember when we had G5 during the last election? They were not supporting Atiku. They came out clearly. It wasn't a clandestine. It was open. So it's obvious. If the president governor of Akwa Ibom is coming out to say he's supporting Ahmed Tinubu, that is why I said, anti-party politics has come to stay in PDP. It has come to stay in PDP. Now you begin to ask questions. Where are the leaders? Where are the founding fathers of PDP? Somebody like Obasanjo did anti-party politics. At the end, he said, look at my card. Look at somebody who held the office of the president for 8 years in PDP. He came to the open. He tore the membership ID card of PDP. I mean, what more can any other person do? So for me, PDP is only struggling for now, and I will hope that a political party who will do better, who will give us, fairness, who will give Nigerians equity, who will give us, dividends of democracy, who will give us security, who will give us electricity, good road, who will not always come and repeat the same manifestos, and on every electoral process they will come and tell us. Now, look at what Eno came. He wants to avoid anything clandestine. He came out clearly. There are so many people who are practicing all of that secret meeting. They are not coming out to say the truth. But watch it. Many PDP governors will still come out. Eno is just taking number one. Many of them will still come out to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I mean, we saw the example of the Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborewari, who had publicly declared his support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, citing that if the president is succeeding, his state will also be succeeding, and if the president is failing, Delta State would also be failing. Now, this is just one of many PDP governors that have openly, commended the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, thereby giving a little bit of hint into a possible defection in the future. Do you see these defections happening, or do you see them staying within the PDP while still supporting the APC-led administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of the general polls in 2027? Hello, Mr. Chairman.
Expect more cross-carpeting.
Okay.
Expect more. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Carry on, sir.
Expect more cross-carpeting. Okay. Expect more cross-carpeting. Expect more support from other political parties. Now, when you are looking at, in those days when we were growing up, if there is a fight between you and somebody else, you will first of all look at the chest of that individual. Is the chest bold enough to bring you down? Is your chest bold enough to bring that person down?
Yeah.
So you must look at, now we have a sitting president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you look at his chest politically, can you be on the side of opposition? If you cannot cross carpet, can you support him? All of these things are political permutations. It's arrangement ahead of 2027. And that is why I say expect more cross-carpeting and expect more, support. I am telling you, more will still come. And that is why I say 2027 is still pregnant. Even those who are shouting, crucify him, they may support Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. Because if you believe in what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing, if you believe in his fight against insecurity, if you believe in his policies on economy, if you believe in his policies of good listener, I think one thing I can give Mr. President is he had a good listening ears. You know what happened last time? People came and said your ambassadorial lists. The choice of your ambassadors is like this, concentrated on the southern Nigeria more than the north. What did he do? He came and withdrew it. He's a good listener. This is somebody that has the capacity to deliver. This is somebody who do not have a godfather. It is somebody that has influence and affluence. Anything about politics, he has there. And is able. So, being seated as a president, I can tell you 2027 is very pregnant. People like I don't want to mention names, those who fought him during the last election, so many of them will come and support him.
Well, Mr. Segun, we must thank you. Time is fast spent. We'll look forward to these predictions of yours and how they pan out in 2027. But thank you for taking our time from your Easter holiday to share your thoughts with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful week.
You too. Well, this is as much as time will permit for us to discuss the issues in the news. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll be ushering in our Abuja sports editor in the company of Emmanuel Chibuzo for a review of the weekend actions across major sporting events. Stay with us.